A top deck profile from YCS San Diego 2017. What's your name and what you play today?
I'm Bruce, and I played, Trickstar with a secret tech that I'll show you in the deck profile.
Okay, cool. Would you like to show us the deck profile?
Yeah, sure. So I played 3 Candinas, Obvious, Stratos. I played 3 Lycoris. It's crazy, best burn card in the deck, Broken. 1 Lilybell. I thought about playing 2 at one point because it's actually pretty good, and it comes up a lot with the card that I'll show later. But this card's a Garnet, and I hate playing Garnet, so I only played 1 in the end. 1 Gofu. This card's broken. The hit to Gofu to 1 actually was a big hit to the deck, in my opinion, which people don't really realize. But yeah, you just play it. It's broken. You should play it. And then that's like the main monsters, and then there's one more monster. 3 Grinder Golem. So this was my tech card for the weekend, and so I was thinking about either playing Eater of Millions or Grinder Golem. And Eater of Millions is really strong against rogue decks because the effect to banish stuff, like you could banish like Beatrice's, and even against like Spiral you could banish the sleeper, and then after you banish the sleeper the deck doesn't do much. But the thing is I thought Grinder Golem was a better card because it lets you like in top deck situations, it's a monster that essentially makes you a Link 4 right now. Even without Security Dragon, which makes you a Link, like 2 Link 4s, but like, and I'll show you some combos later with this card, but this card is like really strong, so I chose to play that. So those are the main monsters. There's let's see, the 7 Trickstars and then the 4 other monsters, so 11. And then for hand traps, I played in the main deck 1 Effect Veiler. This card ended up coming in just because I wanted to play 3 Veilers in my main and side, but then I had to cut 1 Veiler from the side because I wanted to play a Macrocosmos in the side because I couldn't figure out how to beat Infernoids. Maxi, this card's broken. 3 Drone Lockbirds, it's also broken. Reincarnation combos, pretty obvious choice. 3 Ogres, standard, I think also right now. Stopping like resorts and stuff, it's really good. You can stop this the Pendulum spell card, which is also really good as well. And then 3 Ash. This is by far the best hand trap other than, in my opinion, Maxi. It's obvious, it just negates everything. And so in the main deck I played 11 hand traps.
Butter.
And then for spells, 2 Desires. One of my friends said that I should play 3 Desires, but I didn't do it because I didn't feel like I could play 3 Desires because banishing all my monsters was kind of a risk that would happen. But I really did wish I played the 3rd one because I really did want to see the card, and I didn't see it as much as I thought I wanted to. Board clears, I played Dark Hole, Raigeki. This deck has a lot of problems getting over big monsters, so I think Raigeki and Dark Hole are both really important for the deck. And then 3 Scapegoats. I just want to, again, I want more tokens because, just essentially making Link monsters is the way for this deck to actually make big monsters and big boards. And then obviously Goats is like the best one at making tokens right now. And then another tech choice for this event was 3 Spell Shattering Arrow. I decided that standard like back row removal like Cosmic, Twin Twister, and like MST weren't as good as this. And the reason was, first of all, like the burn damage actually does come up because you're playing Trickstar, so like the 500 burn does add up. And another thing was I had a hard time beating the Pendulum matchup, and this card really makes the Pendulum matchup a lot easier because you just clear all their scales, and if they even have the continuous spell, you just get a 1 for 3, essentially, which is really insane. And the other big thing with this is that against Spiral, if they didn't play around the card, you could like nuke their whole board because like they will go like sleeper target itself, and then you can activate Spell Shattering, and then because the last resort will be gone, the whole board will blow up, and then yeah, it was pretty good. And then the obvious 6 field spells, you just want to have more Candinas. And then for traps, I played the 3 Reincarnations, obvious, broken, Droll, and Lockbird combo, and then 1 Solemn Warning. I wanted a trap for going first, and I think the best trap in the game was Warning. One thing I might have considered next time though is I would probably play Ring of Destruction, just because the burn damage is actually relevant and it can break a board. So yeah, that's the main deck. Oops. Okay, and then for the side deck, Like I said, I wanted to play 3 Valors. Valor really was for the, the Pendulum matchup, and even in the mirror I sided it in. Like, if they had the Lycoris, yeah, it kind of sucked, but I didn't really know what to side in for the mirror. And in the case of they did have Lycoris and you were going first, this card's actually really good, because if you have your Reincarnation, you could just chain Reincarnation, and then they can't tag out, so then you would actually just negate the Candina, so it's pretty good. And then one more hand trap I played was Cherries. Cards, like, it's pretty broken against, Double Helix. The Spiral deck doesn't do much, actually, when you have it in, so I thought it was the other hand trap I wanted to play. I decided not to play Gamma, because I didn't want to play Driver, and I hate playing bad cards, like I said. And then I played 3 Cosmics on the side, just more hate for, Pendulum. It was another card that I could play with, if I needed more back row removal. I was also scared of the Paleo deck, so I didn't want to have only Spell Shatterings, because it actually does nothing against Paleo, but Cosmic would banish, like, their Paleo, or you could chain it to something, so it was, like, a lot better choice. But I didn't play it against any Paleo, so... 3 strikes. I just wanted more cards for going first. As you can see, I played mostly hand traps in the main deck because I was expecting to play mostly Spiral, and hand traps are almost as good as traps against the Spiral deck. But against other decks, I did want to have strikes. And then even against Spiral, I did side these in going first. And then 3 evenly matched. I think this card's terrible. I don't think I want to play this card again. But like, it's pretty much there because it destroys rogue matchups. Like, against Pendulum, it's also really good because, like, essentially they're left with only, like, 1 scale or, like, their Baguska only, and you can easily out that with, like, Grinder Golem, Raigeki Dark Hole, like, any of those things. And then it also destroys Paleo again, which I was really scared of, but, again, didn't play against it. And then 1 Macro Cosmos. I played this because, before the event, a lot of people were telling me Infernoid was a real deck, and, I essentially didn't have anything for Infernoid. And I was getting destroyed by Infernoid as well in testing, so I was like, I want to have something that I could just sack the win against them, so that if, I did end up playing against it, I would have it, but I didn't play against any Noids. I guess it just didn't do well in the early rounds or something. So that's the main side deck. And then for the extra deck, I played 3 Link Spiders. This is really important for me because I played Grinder Golem. Again, I'll show you like some combos with it. I played 1 Radiant for the Gofus. 2 Proxy Dragons. I was playing 1 Ib and 1 Proxy at one point, but the thing is I just like that Proxy Dragon can always be made with 2 tokens. Instead of having to do, like, with Gofu, like, a Link Spider and a token or something weird like that. So, I just decided this was better because it was generic, and it always got linked up anyways. I played 1 Holly Angel. So, I think I only made this in my top 16 match, which I ended up losing anyways. I mean, it's good to have in concept anyways. It's something where you can make 2 to make a little bit bigger monster. And you can actually bring this back with Reincarnation and then make even bigger Link monsters. So it's like, in concept, it's a really good card. It's just that it never came up for me. I played 1 Akashic. This card's really broken because it bounces up Grinder Golem, so essentially makes Grinder Golem a Link 4, which is just insane. So, yeah. And then also, it came up in 1 match where I could, because they made a firewall, I could, summon the Akashic there and bounce up their firewall and the other thing that was behind it, so it was pretty good. 1 Ningrisu. This is the real way you get over, like, big monsters in this deck, other than, like, the board clears and stuff. I was playing 2 at one point, because I think this card is that good, except when I started playing, when I wanted to put all the Cherries targets in, I couldn't find room for them, so I decided to cut one of the Ningrisus. Looking back on it, I never actually needed the second one because I always could make another Link monster that was just as effective in this situation, but having the second one does make the plays a lot more comfortable and more streamlined to win. 1 Borreload. This card doesn't come up that much, but when it does, it's like game ending because essentially Spiral can't out it unless they have Wire, and most people have cut Wire from their deck even because the Go second Spiral deck was more popular this event because people were like realizing that now that the deck is more less consistent, you need you need to have like a good balance of hand traps and combo pieces, so they would rather go second, so they have all that. So yeah, with that, people were cutting Wire, which made this card so much more stronger, because that deck literally can't get over this card. One top of logic. This card is insanely broken. It's essentially, what is it? Torrential Tribute on either player's turn in this deck because of what's it called? Reincarnation and Lycoris. Essentially, you just summon something and then you just nuke the board, and then it also just does a lot of burn damage, which is because of its effect, which is really important in the Trickstar deck. One Firewall because what is it? I wanted to do the Firewall OTK with this deck where you have what's it called? Lilybell and Lycoris, where Lilybell attacks directly, adds back Lycoris, and you summon Lycoris, and then you can crash into a monster, and then it specials Lilybell again, and then Lilybell attacks, adds Lycoris, and you keep doing that until you have game. But that only works if they have a monster that's like within 1,000 attack points, or else you kill yourself before you can kill them. But yeah, it's pretty good. And then I played one rank 3 that I actually used, which was Breaksword. I don't think any of the other rank monsters are actually very useful. Usually can't get 2 level 4s on the board, so I didn't consider playing like Baguska or like Tornado Dragon or like the Utopia package, which a lot of people were playing before, especially without Instant Fusion. But this card does come up quite a bit because you do summon 2 Lycorises a lot, because you can chain their effects together to one target, meaning you can summon 2 a lot pretty easily. And then this is another way to get over big monsters and back row and whatever. And then for Cherry's targets, I played Dante and Double Helix. I pretty much thought these were the only 2 worth playing. I actually played against one Burning Abyss, so it was kind of cool that I did have the cherries for it, but I didn't draw the cherries against him. And obviously Double Helix because the most played deck was Spiral, so it's good to have. And Dante in concept is actually not bad either, because it does let you make a 2500 beater, and you can mill like reincarnations and stuff off of it as well, so it's not bad. So that's like everything in the deck, and yeah. So essentially, like I said before, so there was some combos with Grinder Golem, I guess, and I'll just show you like essentially the reason why I thought the card was really good for this event. So if you have like Grinder Golem in a late game situation, so what's it called? You get the 2 tokens, right? So it works when you have like 2 zones right here. Like let's say this is like the field center. So you would summon it like on my opponent's side of the field right here. And what happens is you get 2 tokens. Let's just say these are the 2 tokens. And then you would make these both into Link Spiders. So like I'll get 2 Link Spiders out. And then this becomes a Koshik Magician. Wherever my Koshik one. And then you'd bounce the Golem and you would get 2 more tokens. And then after that, now you have 2 more tokens, which you can either make into like a Proxy, which would let you make a Link 4. So what you could do is you can make like a Top of Logic for free essentially. Like yes, you're giving up your normal summon, but you usually don't do this in the first turn anyways. And then you essentially can attack over the Grinder Golem and it does 3k damage. And if you have like cards that are already in your graveyard, like what's called like Reincarnation, then this card's live as a, what is it, a Torrential Tribute on both players' turns. So it's pretty strong. I thought what is it? So it's a 3k burn, and then now you have a Torrential Tribute body that's on the field, which is really good. And then the real reason why I played the card, that was one reason, but the real reason was, again, you can do the combo. Instead, you'd make Firewall Dragon. So you would go, like, again, Link. So you go Link Spider, Akashic, Bounce, and then you would go Proxy, and then you'd make a Firewall. And then, so, you know, when it's like this, since Firewall is pointing to the Grinder Golem, if you beat over to the Grinder Golem, Firewall Dragon effect activates, so even though you don't have a normal summon, you can still summon, what's it called, Lilybell from your hand, and then you can just do the Firewall FTK from there, or OTK from there, if they have a monster in attack mode that is like within reasonable attack points, so you don't kill yourself. So you just attack directly, and then you would get a Lycoris, wherever they are, and then you would special summon the Lycoris, crash the Lycoris, Firewall Dragon would trigger again, so we killed this obviously with Firewall to trigger the effect. You attack directly again, you would get back the Lycoris, and then you'll special it, and you keep doing that over and over until you kill them. I should have done that in my top 16 match, but I messed up on the placement of my tokens, unfortunately, so, well, that kind of sucks, but overall I was pretty happy with the deck. Yeah, I do think Grinder Golem is really good right now. I don't know if Konami will hit this card anytime soon, but I really do think this card is way too unfair. even right now, and it only makes a link 4 right now. So if any other deck can abuse not having to use their normal summon, I think like this card is almost a must play because it's literally Scapegoats on on your turn, which is insane, and Scapegoats is insanely broken. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole deck. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you have any shoutouts?
Yeah, so shoutouts to Royalty. My team, sponsored by JustFlipTCG. Yes, check out JustFlipTCG.com for buying cards and stuff like that. Shout out to everyone that drove with me. There's There's Ken, Gospel, who's in the car, Jarek, Brian Chen, he's a loser. Kenny, who's doing the camera, Mark, yeah. And Sean, wherever he disappeared to, he's a fat monkey. Yeah, there he is. Shout out to all my friends that helped me like get better at this game. Shout out to my friend Tom. He pretty much helped me get really competitive in this game. Yeah, and he did help me out with the deck even though he couldn't go to this event unfortunately. And then shout out to NorCal, best region on the planet. And shout out to Gas House, best car ride ever to Vegas regionals. Yeah, and I think that is it.
Alright, cool. Thanks for the deck profile and congrats again on your top.
Thank you.